Better yet, do the nativity scene with edibles.
Oh my god, so you can all eat baby Jesus?
Well, we do consume his body and blood during the Eucharist, so...
I kind of feel like this entire conversation, you're going to purposely leave.
Me?
No, him.
Leave
Anyway.
what? Okay.
Anyway. You ready?
Sure.
You ready?
I was kind of hoping we'd keep that part in.
I don't know. But, whatever.
It'd be funny. Because they would have no context of the posts of what we're looking at unless they have Facebook and they're on my Facebook account.
Whatever. What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami with...
Cruellica Kain.
And...
Silver Quill.
And... yeah, edible dinosaurs. Or edible Jesuses. That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, on that note, we are going to be talking about Donbrothers, episodes 40 to 42.
Which you can also eat up.
Except in the third episode, whatever Haruka was eating, when it, like, this gelatinous thing was falling off the meat, I'm like, is that egg? Because it better be egg, because whatever it is, it looks
Actually, I thought that...
disgusting.
I was curious about that meal, but we'll get to that in due time.
But first, we've got episode 40, which actually felt like a very Showa-esque episode. With...
Showa don't tell her.
yes.
Well, with rain day confessions and mud, and ladies rolling around in the mud, their clothes getting all wet and clingy.
Wow. You can tell a guy is starting to explain this because all I was thinking of was Mad Max with Haruka trying to learn how to drive.
Okay, you can see a girl was explaining that because all she's thinking about is some men.
Haruka's a girl.
Well, okay, Mad Max I'm talking about though.
What about Fury Road? Do you forget Furiosa?
I meant just in general.
I was talking about to him, but,
Fine. I was thinking of Initial D. There.
You were thinking of really bad CG.
I was actually
Oh,
thinking
shit.
of, well, at first I was thinking of the car from Akiba Ranger.
Ranger.
But yeah,
Anyway.
we've got two stories going on. We've got Inu and Sonona who are running from
Matsume.
Murasume,
The sword, shark sword.
because he is going after Inu for some reason.
Because basically, after you see Sonoza doing his sword training, and you see two dummies of red and yellow, so Taro and Haruka, behind him. So you apparently now know who he thinks are the biggest annoyances or threats.
What would have been funny is if, like, the red was more hacked up than the yellow. Because he still needs her to finish that manga.
Well, yeah, because he calls her Slump Girl still. But, so, Murasume is like, I've learned all I can from you. And
Flies
flies away.
Bye!
And Sonoza, I think you commented on it. That was like the most chill thing ever.
I mean, well, okay, Sonoza's not one to really emote, but even he was just sort of like, yeah, that's fair.
He was just like, okay, whatever. Moving on.
Back to my spear.
I guess I'm going to go back to my normal
But so we
weapon.
get Inu versus Murasume. Inu falls off a building, crashes down,
And is blinded.
wakes up, can't really see, so Sonona decides to pretend to be Natsumi and take him on this grand adventure.
Well, running away from Matsume. The
Yeah,
logic,
grand adventure.
the logic was that guy down there is an enemy of the Bestials. If you fight him, you'll get stronger. So Matsume fights him. And it's not really much of a fight. I gotta say, massive ponage hath occurred.
Well, in all honesty, anytime Murasume comes into the fight, it's massive ponage. Nobody is able to really compete against him.
Except Taro.
And even that sometimes seems like a struggle.
But then, so he's chasing after Inu and Sonona. constantly. Sonona continues to pretend to be Natsumi because she wants to learn what it is that makes them love
What
each
is
other.
love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
Oh, come on!
Meanwhile, I'm like the driving instructors. This is killing my neck.
But yeah, so then we've got Haruka, who is driving because her aunt's like, you're 18 now, you need to learn how to drive.
And she says the one comment that frustrates me, but makes him quite happy.
I'm fine being a passenger for life.
A forever passenger. I've got no problem with that.
Of the people you see on screen right now, only 2 of them have driver's licenses. Guess which 2?
We tried one time. We tried.
Yes,
I tried to have him.
I did not feel comfortable behind the wheel.
So one time
At band
in
camp?
the Pontiac. No, for me it's band camp. But
She was telling me she was going to take me to this area that had no other traffic, that had lots of freaking traffic.
well, it was a Saturday
Sunday.
or Sunday, especially a Sunday.
Sunday drive.
If you understand anything about anime physics, every time it gets blown up, it's always on a Sunday. So, well, I took him to a parking lot, and it was empty. And I learned one thing. He would be a perfect race car driver because all you're doing is making a right turn. If you ask the man to make a left turn, it's the widest left fucking turn in the universe.
No, I couldn't make the right turn because it was too close.
Yeah, he almost drove into a wall.
But wait,
I literally almost drove into a wall. Let's
It
pause.
was not a wall. Don't even
A
try
wall.
that. It was a stop sign.
I'm just more focused on the racing
No,
is turning.
get the other side of the street and the wall. Sorry.
No, it was not.
Well, either which way, if you want clear, empty roads, apparently just go to Tokyo because there's not another car on any of these roads.
But so she goes through.
Yes!
So she goes through all these like instructors who she keeps injuring.
In the neck.
And then we have the one dude who played Nephrite in the live-action Sailor Moon is playing this guy who's been an instructor for 30 years. He's like, oh, she's the teacher killer.
So he comes in with a neck brace, good anticipation. But he's like, okay. And I'm like, wow, I wish I had a guy that positive teaching
And
me.
it was funny because he's like,
I was scared to death
he's
of my
like,
driving
okay,
instructors.
she is really terrible, but I've been doing this for 30 years and I have not failed yet, so we're going to do this.
Was Haruka his white whale?
Well, he's not trying to slay her, though. He's trying to actually get her to graduate.
But in a way that's like trying to take her out in a way.
But then she shows that she can actually drive in reverse.
Better than most.
And because she goes down this curvy thing perfectly.
That was great, but why were you in reverse?
Yeah, because apparently, so the last task she's supposed to learn was parking. And I have to admit, that is kind of my crutch as a driver. I cannot parallel park to save my life. I will park miles out of my way, and I have done so, just so I don't have to parallel park. Even with my backup camera, I can't do it.
Now, I'm not very good at it myself, but...
But yeah, but the funniest...
Well, he was trying to talk.
I'm just reminiscing. I had a really aggressive driving instructor. He tried to make you scared.
That's how... So the one driving instructor I had before I was like, nope, I'm going to learn this on my own. I actually learned how to drive primarily on my own. He was... Well, no, not he. He was the guy I came out here to learn how to drive in mountains. He was awesome. Friendly old dude, treating me to lunch and everything. But the lady I had back in New York, oh my God, she was a capital C.
Ooh.
She was so mean. She was rude. So I feel you, brother. I feel you.
This is why I'd rather just be a forever passenger. But then we have the funniest thing comes up because Madarasume is chasing Inu and Sonona, and Sonona is injured from running away from him. And Inu finally came back, got his eyesight back, realized that she was tricking him. And he still was like, well, now I've got to protect you. And they're running. And I was just saying, you know what would be funny is if as they're fighting, Haruka comes in and ends up hitting Madarasume with the car. And before I could finish the sentence, boom!
And she's actually more powerful as a fighter in the car. I mean, she manages to outpace him and then hits the brakes in reverse with a door. Now, going back a little there, Sonoma thought that Madarasume wouldn't attack them if they were in a public space.
Yes.
Which one is pretty cold when you're using all those restaurant goers
People
as meat shields.
Yes.
Although a bit ironic. But also, they seated... I'm always bad with the names.
Inuzaka.
With like a bruise over his eye and several other bloody stains. And they
Were they blind?
Well,
like him?
He was. I mean, they're probably like, how big a tip were they expecting? But wait.
But they don't tip in Japan.
That's right. That's right. Only we, because we had slavery. Though I'm just suddenly realizing the Cerebrans have a habit of dining and dashing with the bill. Did they even pay? As Madarasume chased them out the door? I think not.
I loved in the restaurant where it's almost like when you do a review of the series, for this particular scene, if you could, all I want is the Jaws music playing.
Or the Super Mario 3 Big Bertha music.
Oh.
But then we've got the one bestial shows up.
The cop.
And he takes Madarasume to use as a weapon. Fights Inu. Inu gets the sword and slices him to pieces, killing him. Now leaving us wondering, did he actually just kill that bestial and the cop?
Well, apparently the rule is if you kill the bestial, the human linked to it dies as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, well then, Sonona?
Yeah, Sonona lies to him, says, if you kill the bestial, she'll be fine.
Because now, she actually felt his feelings of love.
It's because I had lunch.
Projecting towards her. Yes, lunch is very important.
They had lunch. Therefore, they're already at third base.
You're the one who created this.
Oh, I'm the one. I'm the one who made you sit down and watch that Garo episode.
No! You're the one who created the ongoing joke that we have as a group that anytime two anime or Toku characters have lunch, they're automatically going to be together.
Forever and ever to part.
And then we've got, though,
forever.
Meanwhile, we have the driving instructor turns into a Time Ranger monster. And
no wonder it kept going on about 30 years.
And the Rangers are fighting him, and they turn into the mech forms. And Inu, suddenly in the middle of a conversation with Sonona, gets transformed into his mech form. He's like, what, I'm a mech already? Okay.
And this is a thing now.
Yeah, he was like, wait, I can do this?
Actually, that's been a common theme with each of the Donbrothers. It's, okay, this is a thing now.
Well, so, we're at episode what right now?
That was 40.
So we're at episode 40, and we still don't have a full team. Like, together, where they all know who each other are. And poor Inuzaka is still being treated like a kick puppy.
But then we have,
What was that football player's name that took advantage of all those dogs?
Ooh.
Oh, God.
The one with the dog ring?
Yes.
The dog fighting ring? I don't remember.
Because it kind
Vic something? I don't remember. He was worthless anyway. He's not worth remembering. But, so then we have the mech battle, and Madarasume then pledges, to you, I'm now going to hang out with you.
Which Mom wasn't too thrilled about. But then again, moms usually aren't thrilled when their kids hang out with a bad crowd.
Actually, what else I found interesting was we never actually saw Momotaro transform into his ultimate form. We have their normal, they cut to Inu and Madarasume and them, and then when they go back to the other team, he's already transformed in his ultimate form, doing his final attack on the Time Ranger monster.
So, one thing that frustrated me about this set of episodes is that we don't get any kind of payoff from the final episode of the last time we watched with Jiro doing the origami. And every time Jiro pops in, and unfortunately it's still the standing theme with him, they kind of pops in like what the old school Sixth Rangers were like, where they pop in, do what they need to do, leave. And
I like they've been doing that with Jiro.
I was like, they started without me again.
It's like, oh, it gets better when we get to episode 42. But nevertheless, I really like this episode because, one, I always like seeing a driving episode, and seeing somebody have to learn how to drive.
Speaking of which, when Haruka is like this, and the instructor's like, oh my god, she's gone nuts.
Well, because it's a speed.
Well, I also love, so the jackets they were wearing were the jackets from Time Ranger that the Time Rangers wore when they were doing their day job. Mm-hmm. And the school logo was the Time Ranger layout and font.
The one time he recognizes topography, it's...
Yeah. But what did you think of the episode?
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, it was also kind of dramatic as you see these expressions of love. I love Yuzaka's, look, maybe I fell in love with you because you're kind or you're beautiful, but the thing is, if you stop being those two things, I'd still love you.
I actually appreciated that.
Barf.
Well, I appreciated that because...
There's no romance in your heart. It's just a lump of coal right there.
It is.
Well, I have been called heartless.
By me, multiple times. But, that's what makes a strong relationship.
Insults.
Life goals. But,
Life goals? So if our life goal is to get you to make a diorama, does that strengthen our relationship?
Yes.
Okay then. Hashtag make a food diorama. At Cruellica Kain at creativitybydesign.com.
You forgot the LLC.
LLC.com.
But no, I like this episode again. Like the whole.
You liked it again? Did you watch it more than once?
Out of order wording. Like I said, the whole Inuzaka, Sonona, that whole plot point felt something out of the Showa era of Sentai. That was a total Showa era plot.
And they told you as well. I like
Moving
my
on, funny enough, that you brought up Garo, because we had a Christmas episode with Santa being played by Gonza.
Oh, the butler.
Yes.
Oh, is that who it was? Okay. Okay, I mean, it certainly was a Christmas episode, I guess. Once you have Santa getting arrested for public intruding on a little boy saying, "You're my little brother now."
So all I thought of was like, no, I'm not even gonna
I need an adult.
No.
I am an adult.
But so we've got our Cerebrans. The episode kicks off with them dressed up as Santa. And they're like, yes, we've got to do this. And then we go back to a few days in advance when we start with the Cerebrums fighting the Donbrothers. And everyone starts getting amazed at how well Momotaro and
Sonoi
are fighting. Then they pass out or get tired. Next day, oh yeah, because we had the sunset go, which was kind of cool. Then we have the next day. They're just watching those two transform and fight.
And then Kaiju fiddles with the quick cables, so we cut out for a brief second. And then it's the dual downward slash, which we've kind of got a draw of one win on each side with that.
And now, when they do it now, both go down.
And then we've got, okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Actually, we can't do it tomorrow. We'll come by the cafe to talk to you. Then we cut to the cafe the next day, and Kaito's like, oh, now the Cerebrums are normal customers.
Yada, yada.
Oh, so I have to say it. Because
Yada,
it's
yada.
required.
Yada?
Every time I hear yari yari, I just think of my anime husbando, Jotaro Kujo.
Yeah, we're in Joe's.
Because that is his common phrase that he says in almost every episode. Every time somebody, usually his grandfather, does something stupid, he does yai yai.
Whatever.
Anywho.
Hey! Don't do that!
What, anywho?
No, him.
Weird. Oh, God, no. Nope.
Nope, you were leading in. You were coming in. I'm reading you in here.
Nope. 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 Nope.
I'm still here.
I know.
Anyway. So we've got everyone. This little girl's being picked on for believing in Santa.
Which is not a problem.
And
Santa is real.
And so she says, "Oh, I've seen Santa." And the Cerebrans are like, "You have?" And she's like, no, I kind of lied about that because the Cerebriums have been tasked that every Christmas Eve, someone from their group has to dress up as Santa and deliver presents."
Well, here's the funny thing. I mean, their world is maintained by human minds, so this is an expression of gratitude. These guys are supposed to be well, villains no longer applies. They're the antagonists.
Yeah, I was going to say, they haven't been the villains since, like, episode 5.
No, I mean, as far as I know, the Bestials are the villains, but they're not really the focus.
I don't know if we have, like, an actual villain in this show, because Bestials are kind of unwilling villains.
Well, they're pure animalistic behavior and impulses.
Yeah, so I don't think there's actually a villain in this show.
Which makes sense.
Unless we say Kaito because of all of his damn photo books.
Well, there was the theory that he was the... Although, I should point something out. We're assuming that our Sixth Ranger is the penguin, because he did an origami penguin. That could be a fake out. He just happened to do origami for giggles and knows how to make a penguin. How many origami animals are there? Crane, obvious.
Crane, bear, penguin.
Well,
I thought it was a cat.
Yeah.
The cat. That's not, yeah.
See, I'm not asking within the show. I'm asking in the world.
Thousands of different type of origami.
I feel the need to search this. Pardon me one second.
Well, the only reason I say that is because I bought one of my friends an origami paper and a little origami book because he makes different things.
I can bring out some origami cranes.
No, you can't.
How Missini Borigami... Man, my sausage fingers just undo me every time.
Did you say origami?
It says, how Missini Borigami.
Are you the Jagger or whatever the monsters are from Geats that don't have like an actual language? It looks like gibberish.
The Jamato?
Yes, that thingy.
Are you picturing me in the tuxedo or the maid's outfit right now?
Sure.
Well,
with your hairy ass legs.
How many origamis are there?
See, this is where we need to have our intermission music. So if you need to go use the restroom for a minute while we real time look at the internet to answer a question for something that you're watching on the internet, this is the perfect time to go to use the bathroom.
We're not doing that right now, but...
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
I went with drink.
You said drink, he said treat. Which one is it? Which is the accurate one?
Both.
Which one's accurate?
Let's see here. Apparently there are over 80 different types of origami.
Yeah.
So, but...
You say yeah like you knew this.
Well, there's a lot of origami, so there being over 80 is like, duh.
Well, I mean, there's more Pokemon than origami. That should say something. Oh, what if you made origami Pokemon? How hard would that be?
Gotta fold them all.
What if there is an origami Pokemon?
Of course there is by now.
I thought there was.
Yeah.
I actually don't legitimately know.
There is, but it folds in every fight.
Anyway.
Oh, I should use that. I'll use that next week.
Oh my god, that would be perfect! You need to write that down before you forget.
Okay, I will.
You know he could just check back in the video if you forgot, right?
I don't watch your videos.
Well, Duh.
To be fair, neither do I. No, I actually do.
Hey, I don't watch them once they're on YouTube either.
Oh, we actually do. So please continue to support all three of us.
I only watch the ones I have to edit and do full editing.
We actually watch all of our videos along with many others.
I do.
Yes.
But on the topic of Christmas, I mean, I was just wondering if that origami penguin was a fake out.
We end up having Santa who's down in the dumps.
No.
Can't be.
Oh.
And
I wish Santa was drunk and saying
literally in the dumps.
That's what I'm saying, down in the dumps. And he is the Mask Man monster.
Well, okay. So, the things he was doing actually seems like the perfect revenge for people who piss you off.
Giving him garbage for presents.
Giving him bullshit for presents.
But then we have the little girl. They're
Are
like,
you telling me you wouldn't want to do that to revenge against anybody who wronged you? It would be the so non-violent action.
But the best revenge is living a good life. So I would want to give good gifts to people. Also, well now.
Really?
Well, I thought our revenge was give really good gifts that were hidden behind impenetrable barriers of multiple boxes.
For not strangers. I meant for people who did you wrong, not your friends. Your friends you give prank type style gifts where you zip tie the entire thing so they spend like 30 minutes opening it.
With 2 zip tie loops that it looked like she wanted me to wear it on my belt.
but okay, we have
ties.
Santa giving garbage to all these kids.
No, they were adults.
Or whatever, as a joke.
Maybe they're from the year he got arrested.
Okay, I'm sorry. But those 2 little assholes who open up the gifts and are like, this is stupid, and tosses them in the garbage, they're the ones Santa shouldn't be visiting anymore, because that is an asshole move.
That's why I'm wondering, are they now the adults that he sent those awful
But I do like when... So first we have Momo says, oh yeah, I met Santa when I was a kid. He is real. And he asked me to give him gifts. I think that was a thief. No, it was actually Santa. And then they go up to Kaito, and Kaito's like, oh yeah, him and I used to be friends.
Makes me wonder how old Kaito is.
Okay, this Kaito, anyway.
This Kaito, yes.
And then the Santa's like, oh, back in the day, we were great buddies. And all I know is I was thinking, oh my God, we've got Boomer Santa here. You kids today and your blah, blah, blah. But then we have they give these little things to the Cerebrums. Okay, to be Santa, you need to be able to smile and stuff. Oh, okay.
Endurance and smiling.
And then they're trying to smile, and we've got Sonoza. It's like, you guys are too creepy. We're smile. You gotta do this.
No, they said they're too seductive.
Yes. And they just smile, and she says, you're too creepy. He's like, okay, then how about this one? And so we have the Rangers free Santa, which we get. Inu takes the form of Ninja Black with Marusume,
which was
so awesome.
I was gonna say, you had to think that was so.
At first, I was like, why didn't he turn into Black Mask? Oh wait, duh, because they don't have the Mask Man coin yet, because he's the Mask Man monster.
But why Kaku Black? What is
Ninja Black?
Yeah, Ninja Black. What is the significance of him wielding a sword?
Nothing. It's just he's the closest martial artist. Because Die Ranger had green, Geki Ranger didn't have any Black Ranger.
Yeah, but Ninja Black just started attacking his friends after watching TV. I remember that episode.
Well, Ninja Black also, if you think about it, Ninja Black was kind of a little outside the team as well, because he couldn't fully understand everything completely because he was the American ninja.
Help me! Help me!
So I think it kind of also played that double thing, because it took so long for them to really connect on an emotional level, because even later into the series, he was still speaking a lot of English at times.
Well, I always just loved his ancestor. What, they couldn't stay in the country?
God, yes.
What's this help me stuff? Anywho.
Oh, that makes me think of another pun that you could use. What was it? I've been collecting Beatles albums.
Oh, yeah. Says I'm addicted to collecting Beatles records. Sounds like you need help. No, I already have that one.
But I do need somebody, not just anybody.
You need somebody to love.
Different group.
No,
Really?
it's in that song. It says, "I just need somebody, not just anybody. I want somebody to love."
Well, now I'm thinking of the other band. Don't you need somebody?
Anyway.
I listen to Beatles.
Okay,
a lot.
so they get Santa back
And
to
the
normal.
But he's still bummed.
And he gets, Taro talks him into becoming Santa again, so he goes...
By saying that the reason, and this made me think of you.
Edit.
Because he said the reason I got the job I got is to save up money so I can buy extra gifts. And it made me think of you because you are so generous that you go out of your way to get everybody extra gifts.
Actually, there was something else I heard the other day that all I did was think of him.
You think of me? What was it?
So apparently at a store, because
It better be something good because he looks very happy right now. I don't want to take it away.
sparkles
so
in the
apparently at a store, this dude was
Can't
in
you
the
look at him?
this dude was in the checkout lane. He's apparently maintaining 6 feet of distance from the other person.
This
the
is
checkout
making
lane.
you think
This
of me?
old guy walks
okay.
into cuts the dude in front, just cuts the guy off because he didn't pay attention. He goes in line. Goes to pay for his stuff, doesn't realize he doesn't have his wallet. The dude who got cut off paid for that guy's items.
Aww.
And the cashier just says to him, he cut you off and you paid for his items? Why? He says, because there's no kindness like that anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
That definitely is a Silver Quill
And
story.
Did you get his number? He might be my bro for life.
But anyway, so
That is actually very hard.
moving off of the Santa episode.
Oh, so you're just gonna move on?
Yeah,
No,
Move
tender emotional moment. Keep going.
I'm like
That sounds
I'm like
like
Haruka. I'm gonna speed through that wall.
Actually, Haruka's reaction was a bit weird. When she looks up and sees everyone else is looking up and smiling and so happy. She's like, oh, okay, we're ending on this. Bang, bang. She's like, what? Wow, you're the party pooper. Except, I think for once I can say the CG was not better than Zenkaiger.
Oh,
Those reindeer.
yeah, that reindeer
That
scene
looked like
was
1980.
horrible looking.
In fact, maybe that'd be from the MTV video.
Oh, yes.
Even the mech battle with Marusume's mech
For
form
Sledgehammer.
was pretty off because Marusume, when he started to walk, it was like jittering. And it just made me think of the Beast Wars CGI.
Could that just be, what is it called?
Oh, they're just...
Run cycle buffering?
Buffering.
All I'm thinking is, okay, they're running low on their CGI budget at this point.
So...
Actually, that would be hilarious if the two mechs are suddenly paused in midair and the Donbrothers are like, wait, what happened? What's that spinning symbol? Oh no, we're buffering. Help! Help, we're stuck up here.
Now we're getting to now officially my favorite episode of the series
Thus far.
Really?
Oh my god. So the reason why it's my favorite episode is because one, we get a character in drag and I love seeing men in drag. And then just the ridiculousness of how this all comes together and poor Taro. Poor Taro. So we start the episode with Taro bringing a package to Saru Brothers' home. So opening the door is Haruka dressed so badly.
Is it weird she made me think of Jubilee from X-Men?
That's what I thought.
Because she was wearing a lot of yellow, I think.
She was, but her character.
Well,
does that mean Jubilee is the Yellow Ranger of the X-Men?
No, she's the Princess Peach. She's always getting captured.
And all she can do is throw fireworks to try to distract them.
So she then is like, One-san! And Saru comes out, grabbing the package that she signs for it. And Taro is like, is that Haruka? Is that Saru? And then we have a father come out.
And he's like,
that Kijino? And we come to find out that there's this con artist who is going into people's homes
as a spiritualist, proclaiming that there's bad things going on in their house, they need to fix it, but then robbing them when they're sleeping.
Well, robbing them when he can't get them to give up the most valuable items because all of their items are sentimental value.
And essentially what it's been doing, from what we get on this like instant backstory, is that it's breaking up families. So apparently this guy comes to Saru Brothers' house and is saying that there's evil spirits inside. So Saru,
who recognizes him,
decides this is an awesome time to entrap him. And to make it better, they go to Kaito, tell Kaito to tell Taro if he asks, yes, we're family. Because Kijino is playing mommy and daddy, Saru is playing older brother, and Haruka is playing younger brother.
Younger brother?
Younger sister. Then, to make it even better, and I'm not going to go through just a quick...
Inu shows up.
Well, I was going to say, Inu shows up. Haruka, seeing him, is like, this is my boyfriend. And they're doing this at the cafe. Inu's like, wait, what? Saru's like, you look like you have sweat. Let's go take care of that. Covers his mouth, drags him outside, and says, this is what's going on. And Inu's like, I'm an actor. I can do this. And then, so we continue there.
Then they go back home. And then we've got...
Jiro comes in.
He's like, hey, what's going on? So Haruka's like, oh...
This is my boyfriend! And then he's like, wait.
But that was your boyfriend.
So you're two-timing him. Inu has the best comment of the episode, and he's like, oh, to make it worse, I'm being two-timed in a fake two-timing relationship by him. So what are your thoughts of this?
Well, I mean, usually the liar reveal is... It's kind of curious. People get very tired of the liar reveal trope, but here, it's like, no, I want to see how much farther they can dig. How deep does the rabbit hole go until you find out... I've heard of sleepwalking, but never sleep pensioning.
But then we have when the dude's like pretending, because then we've got Kijino who's pretending to be the mom at that point, having to make the excuse the dad got a call and had to leave. And the guy's like, okay, there's a cat in your family that is your history.
Stroganoff.
And she's like, oh, Stroganoff, oh no, yes, I put a...
sock on his head.
And then,
probably it's like a hat.
And you're a dog. Oh, and then he goes to Kijino. Oh, you've got a shadow. Oh, Miho. Oh, and runs away. And it's like, yeah, Miho would have been my older sister, but she died when she was young. Don't you kill Miho.
At that point, the fact that the con man isn't just bolting. Actually, I've been thinking about the liar reveal trope because there were some talk about it. There are some stories, like Goodbye Lenin, where you know that they're lying, but because it's a noble endeavor, you actually want them to keep going. How do you keep it going? Waking Dead Divine, much the same way. There's this goal to bring wealth to a small Irish town, or to protect a mom's health who went into a coma before the fall of Soviet Russia.
Well, the liar reveal is an interesting trope. Because, unlike other tropes, in my opinion, it's on a slippery slope. Because you can do a really good job with it, or you can make it where it's almost like pandering. And what are you doing?
Well, discontinue.
Discontinue?
No, just continue.
I heard discontinue.
I had heard discontinue.
Just continue.
Hey, look, scroll back up. I saw boobs.
Oh my god!
No, I was looking. I saw a picture of blue Sonic that was dressed in a Blue Ranger
Either which way, the liar reveal trope. A lot of people get frustrated by the predictability of it.
Well, yeah.
They'll be revealed, but then they'll return to make the lie a truth.
Well, and that's the one thing I actually like about this, because they essentially don't. Because, in my opinion, but the next part that makes it even better is that Taro comes in with a box of meat, and it was like, here, I got some meat, I want to share it with all of you. Saru takes it and he's like, yeah, that's great, now can you leave? And he's like, no, I am staying. And he's been hiccuping throughout this entire episode.
Okay.
Every time he's told something.
Well, first of all I know is Taro has the meats, not Arby's.
But
The gelatinous meat.
so then Haruka, being the emotional support mechanism, which is faulty at best, feels incredibly guilty that they've not been including Taro.
No, you're missing the part though. Taro going, his mom looks like Kijino in drag. Oh.
Could it be that their mom really is?
Yeah, he thinks maybe this is true. Where it's almost that believing a lie, like you had mentioned. Where Taro, because he can't lie, is starting to believe the lie because of what is being seen in front of him. Which, if we go back to the previous episode for Santas, when he's talking about all the store Santas, and Haruka is like, no, those aren't real Santas. They're just doing marketing for those companies. But
he's like, oh, enlightening.
But so here, he's starting to be that believer of the lie, because even the con man is just an idiot, and he's filled with
Well, I love when they're eating the meat and they're like, oh yeah, here's my precious
avarice,
thing,
that
and
sort.
here's my precious thing. He's like, those are worthless to me.
Well, what makes it better is that Haruka telling Taro, okay, well, do you want to be a part of this? You can be my other big brother. And he's like, I have grown.
I can tell a lie. Saru, meanwhile, is like, what are you doing?
You're gonna kill him. But so they do all of this, and then at the end of dinner, which is a really cool scene when you pan out, because once again, you have all 6 Rangers, even though you have the evil guy there, but he walks away at that particular moment. You have all 6 Rangers there, and it's so cool to see again, because you know they're a team, but not everybody else knows they're the team.
Well,
Dramatic irony.
So
Yes.
he goes and breaks into the house at night to steal stuff. Can't find anything. Sees
Inu passed
Inazaki,
out.
and then he's like, wait a minute. He's that fugitive. Uh-oh. And then he goes and ends up backing away, knocks into a room and finds Haruka talking in her sleep and
Pensioning.
transforming in her sleep, rolls over out of the blanket in costume, and he is freaking out.
Meanwhile, he watched Pink calling his dead child on the phone, saying, "I'll be there in the morning." Man, interpreting that through a certain lens.
Oh my god!
And then he ends up getting into Taro, who he tries to tell him to lie and falls dead, and he's like, "Oh, he died."
And that's when Saru makes his appearance.
And then you see, almost like a zombie, Taro standing right back up, because apparently death is a comic book philosophy for Taro now.
Well, I mean, it's true. Anytime someone says, "Oh, he's dead," that's when he pops back. It's almost like a word trigger. But I think this is the only time in Sentai I've seen where the monster is more afraid of the Sentai team than the other way around. He is basically fighting for his life.
Well, and it's funny because all the Rangers get transported, and they're all in this house. So it's not like they all had to travel from different places. And you see Oni's sister on the ground sleeping still.
So is the dog brother.
Oh, yes.
Inu
Inu brother. And Taro, or Don Momotaro, kicks him like, wake up!
And our monster was Go Ranger.
He wished he could go far away.
But yeah, and then we have the mech battle.
Such as it is. It's more of a football game.
Which, from the things I've seen of Go Ranger, that is reminiscent because, well, they had the jump rope, which I'm so used to them having ribbons, wasn't it?
No, that was Go 5.
Oh, okay. But I knew they kicked this, like, futuristic, weird-looking football, but it would turn into cleaning items. Like, it turned into a broom and dustbin.
And then a vacuum cleaner.
And then a vacuum cleaner.
You might call it a sucky transformation.
I was going to.
They were just cleaning all the bad juju from the year out.
And then...
Sorry for the dust up.
And then our villain of the episode, the con man, so freaked out, which I would be traumatized as well if I did not know what was going on and saw all of this. He turns himself in. So the day is saved by those rascally kids.
And their dog,
Those
too.
wrestling kids.
Rascally.
I know, but it sounded at first like you said wrestling.
By those.
And their dog, too.
Exactly.
And their Inu, too. But Inu actually had fun. He enjoyed that lunch and game with the family. Does he have a little heel click?
I know. That was actually cool to see that at the end.
But
he's a terrible actor, though.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny. He's a great actor to be able to play a terrible actor. That lunch, because the Japanese thing of cooking things with a pot in the center and everyone just sort of...
Hot pot, yeah.
Okay, with our group, that would not work.
No.
Advent Nebula would have finished the whole thing before we even started.
There's that, or our friend Chrysalige, he has this habit of taking like a bowl of chips and just sort of wrapping it around.
Yeah, so in our group, we have a bottomless pit, a person whose eyes are bigger than their stomachs. We have... Stomach. We have myself, who is kind of like the mom of the group, so I'm constantly prepping things.
But doesn't do a diorama.
So by the time I get to eat, things are either gone or cold. Then we have Mr. Generosity, who will try to wait for everyone to be there to eat. So he's in a similar situation, which shit will start getting cold because he's waiting on my ass. And then we have him, who doesn't care if nobody else is sitting at the table. If food is there, I must eat it.
No, correction, if hot food is there. Because I like my food hot.
Well, admittedly,
I don't like cold food.
So wait,
unless it's cold food.
If we got like a cold supper set up one night, would you wait?
There would be the question.
Yeah.
So if we had cold food...
I don't like cold food.
Like sandwiches or regular cold food, does that mean you won't eat it because it's cold?
Well, sometimes you see that I'm sometimes the last one to take a sandwich when we have the sandwiches.
That's true.
I don't like cold food.
I'm intrigued. We will now test this.
Aren't there cold noodles?
Oh, why would you want noodles cold? That's just gross.
What about chicken? You can eat.
I don't like cold chicken. I hate cold chicken.
Really? I like cold. So what about like ham salad? When you do that, it's basically ham and mayonnaise, but he calls it ham salad because of his dad.
There's a few things, but I don't like cold food.
So that means, why do you eat ice cream then? Because it's cold.
That's
technically right.
I said there's a few exceptions, but I don't like cold food.
See, okay, we've been together for nearly 22 years. We're 2 months away. Well, a little bit
Have
less.
you not noticed that if I can, I always heat my sandwiches up? I always toast the bread.
I thought that was just because you like toasted bread.
There's that, and then it's warm, it's hot, it's not cold.
Okay, we're going down the rabbit hole that
I don't like cold food.
I still just like the revelation that you two have been together less time than Ash has been on his Pokemon journey.
Yes.
We were talking about that before the recording.
Alright, but anyway,
So it
with
feels
that
like
in mind,
together.
we've got, that was episode 42 we ended with, so we've got 8 episodes left of
Is
Donbrothers.
it really 50?
50 episodes.
Okay. Because Murasame temporarily left Inu's grip and attacked everybody, but by the end he is restored.
Because he did say at the end, before we see him with Inu again, he's like, what did I do? So I'm wondering if he's starting to like break away from Mom.
Well, is it then?
Mom, you can't tell me what to do anymore.
He's in his teenage phase now.
Yes.
Or he's the opposite of Psycho. Let us
Oh my God. Oh, for I know
Norman
who
Bates.
Yes.
But
Does that mean he has a hotel?
What?
we've got
They can occupy a house on their own.
That's true.
8 episodes left.
I'm gonna miss this series.
I am so gonna miss this series.
I want to rewatch this series now,
Yes.
trying to see if I can spot things I missed on the first go.
Well, I want to wait until way later because then I can watch it with all the movies. Because we've got the movie that the Cerebrums had their little guy come up and say, "I need you for the movie." There's Donbrothers Hurricaneger movie coming out and a Donbrothers Aberanger movie coming out.
But no crossover with Zenkaiger.
Yet. They'll probably be after.
Because I'm still wondering if that Kaito is the Kaito we saw or a different Kaito. If it's another Kaito, I gotta say the god finally had a bit of inspiration. Not just, I'll put everyone with a leaf on their head. Or everyone talks in noodles or something like that. That god was terribly unoriginal. Anyway.
But yeah, well, because the last Sunday in February is when Donbrothers ends.
Sigh. But either which way, it's a fun series. Probably the most innovative Sentai I've seen.
Best
Yes.
Sentai since Geki Ranger.
Well, I mean, for me, I still like Gokaiger, but it was my introduction.
All I know is I am so gonna miss the series when it goes away. But
Hopefully King Oger.
Donbrothers meet Jelicito. That would be interesting.
Alright, on that note, click like, subscribe, the bell notification. Tell us what you thought of these episodes in the comments below. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Kaiju no Kami, and the website creativitybydesignllc.com. Stores at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop, or there's a link in the description below. And
you can check out MLP Silver Quill on Twitter, DeviantArt, and YouTube, which will have links to my Patreon and Ko-fi, so you can support
because
my
he likes
videos.
coffee.
Actually, get some hazelnut in there and I can tolerate it.
coffee tastes like pure hatred.
No, that's what it is, liquid hate. Why do you think we start the morning? I will destroy everything after I have my full
Sorry, I can't go to your other hand because he has it entrapped.
With that said, until next time,
He's on my legs.
bye.